Okay. Good afternoon, Jiwen.
Good
Thanks
afternoon.
for agreeing to record this video with me. And this video will only use for educational purpose.
It's no problem.
So, how's your week so far?
Well, it's Wednesday today. So on Monday, I had courses on Monday, and on Tuesday, I went to the lab and do something there. And I also had course on Tuesday. And for today, after finishing my morning courses, I went to do the TA, hold my office hour there for undergraduate course. Yeah.
So, sounds like your week is as busy as usually.
Yes, it is. And you know what? I'm still having an exam on Friday, and I'm still nervous about it.
Oh, no, I mean, it's so stressful that you have examinations on every Friday.
Yeah, every Friday. So for this course, I think we're supposed to do at least 15 exams.
In one term.
Yeah, during this term for this course.
So you are saying you will have like every week there will be a exam because totally you will have 15 in a term.
Yeah.
Well,
it's amazing. That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah, I mean, so much stress and pressure.
It is stressful, yeah. But I really need to take this course because by learning from this, I can do better job in my lab. So my PI suggests me to take this course anyway. She knows that we're gonna have exams and tests during this whole semester on every weekend. So
what does PI stand for?
Oh, PI means principal investigator.
Oh, it sounds high tech.
Oh, yeah, it is. So PI is basically the person who will manage the whole lab, and she just like organize everything, and she do the personnel thing, and she is the boss of the whole lab and boss of all the lab faculties.
Yeah, so her advice must be useful and must be important to
you. I think so, yeah. So all the courses must work for this research project. Otherwise, why am I taking it, right? So that's why I really need to take this course.
Okay, so tell me more about your exam.
Okay, you mean the exam that coming on Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am still worried about that, but I feel better. I'm not that worried as I usually do. So, but there are still some questions for me to figure out how to release my.
What are you worrying about?
Well, basically, I'm worried about all those materials, whether I understand it for truly, whether I know what the professor want us to know, or whether I made enough or sufficient preparation for it. Yeah, that's why I'm so nervous right now.
You are worrying about the materials.
Yeah, the materials during class.
What do you mean, the materials?
Okay, so by materials, I basically mean all those knowledge that need to be remembered, and others like something you really need to understand, and you really need to practice it after understanding. So, we had lots of materials being taught every class, but for some reason you just can't understand them for one time and during the class, which means you really need to pay more time and more efforts afterwards to try to figure that out by yourself. By means like reading the textbook, or by means like group study, or ask TA directly like that.
So it seems that textbook is one of the most important materials you need to prepare for the exams.
It's kind of like depends, because for some chapter, for those chapters which are really need to understand that rather than just remember everything. you really need to read textbook for over and over again to make sure that you really understand this, and you can perform it next time by yourself without textbook. And for some of the chapters, like there's one chapter that it's literally about the membrane structure, and cell membrane is like biological membranes, and for chapters like this, it's more important for you to really remember all those terms and all those.
Just remember the terms.
Remembering is the most important thing to deal with these chapters. So for chapters like this, I basically just watch all those. I watch some papers and I just watch the class materials rather than the whole textbook. Yeah, it's a kind of time wasting on that. So that's what I basically do.
So what are the difference between the examinations that focus on different chapters? For the chapters you need to remember terms, or for the chapter you need to understand the knowledge? What are the difference shown in the exams?
All right. So in one exam, we usually have 8 to 10 questions to be answered, and for some of them, which like you said, some of them really need to. Some of the questions are made for examining whether you remember it properly or not. And for these questions, the method that I'm using now is, after class, I try to write down everything over and over again. It is kind of time consuming, but it's worth it, because in this way, by writing, it will help you to remember all those stuff properly, and correctly, And for some other questions in the exams, I think this is different, because for those things that you really need to remember, you really need to understand, not just remember them. We don't have the so these questions are more like a case study, which means you won't have specific like questions like that. You have a case to solve, or you, maybe like there's a patient waiting for you to have the diagnosis or something like that.
No standard answer for a case study.
Yeah, it's based on your personal understanding. So it's more understanding based, so, which means that you really need to pay more attention to how this happens. How are we gonna solve this problem, rather than just remember those terms, or that won't help.
Solve the problem.
Yeah. It's problem solving questions. So for these questions, I think I'm still looking for the best way to prepare for these questions in the exams.
But since there's no correct answer, you can never answer those kind of questions perfectly, because there's no correct answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to answer it perfectly, because you always miss something. You mean sometimes you get this point, but you miss the other ones. So yeah, it really depends on how well and how deep you understand this.
We are still new here. We have time.
Yeah.
And so it seems that your method to prepare for the examinations are well prepared. Sounds like that. So why are you still nervous?
I'm trying to be well prepared, but I'm not sure whether I am well prepared, because I'm the only international student in the whole our department for our age, and this is kind of annoying, because because every time when you are working so hard to prepare for something, and other students just like you, they don't need to do that so hard, because
you mean the native students,
native speakers, and PhD students, they don't really need to be that hard preparing for it. And it's kind of, sometimes you feel really frustrated, because you are the different one, right?
So how can you know how hard the native students prepare?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, I have so far I had no idea about that. It seems everybody's working very hard, but I'm not sure how hard or how much harder they than me. So they I don't know that.
Yeah, so it's like you are stressful about your imagination. You think
It's
you are
kind
the
of like that.
you
Yeah.
think you are the one who paying the most
effort, but
yeah.
getting the lowest grade, right?
Yeah, but you cannot say that.
Yeah, it's kind of unreasonable to say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want good grades, but yeah, it's harder for me than it to others to get good grades.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because in China the examinations in university are different. Yeah, there are key points. You can highlight that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But things here are a little bit different. So we really need to make changes to adapt to the situation here. Right.
So far, how's your adaptation?
I think at least I made progress, or I'm working on that to be better adjustment to make that here. But I think there are still things that I really need to figure out to help me either I mean both working in a lab and study for the course, right?
Yeah.
Because we are doing thesis, and by doing thesis, first you need to get the knowledge to do thesis, and second you really need time to pay in the lab to do research, and otherwise where do your data come from, right?
Yeah.
So you need data to finish a thesis, and you need the time for getting data, and you need knowledge to help you design the whole experiment. So it's kind of like chain reaction.
Yeah. So one chain will affect
the others. Yeah.
So how did your lab and your experiment affect your examinations?
I want to say there's no conflicts between them, but but time is limited. So if you put more time doing research, maybe you will experience more, or you will gain more, or accumulate more experience on how to do that. But that also means you may have less time preparing for your exams. So sometimes it's hard to balance them properly. But
so there's still time conflict.
Yeah, I want to say there's no conflict, but
yeah, I can understand. It's not like you learn to play tennis and ping pong.
Yeah.
So you did one thing good, not means you will fail into another thing, but it's just you only have 724 a week. Yeah, you cannot have 748 a week. Yeah. So how are you managing your time?
For this semester, since I'm not registering for the research credit, so I'm only get trained in the lab. So I spent about 12 hours during weekdays and about 8 hours per weekend days. So
that's long.
Yep, that's required. But for next semester, since I'm gonna register for the research credits, which means I'm really gonna work more in the lab. So I'm thinking thinking about only take 2 courses, which equals to 8 credits for coursework, and I will take another 4 to 5 credits in research credits. So it's kind of like driven me crazy like that.
I can imagine your
yeah.
So far, how many times you have in each week to prepare for your weekly exam?
About, let's say 25 to 30 hours
per week.
Yeah, per week.
So that's still long for me.
Yeah,
in China, you may
this never happens.
Right? Sometimes you just spend a night before the exam, and you will be fine.
Yeah, that's because all the stuffs I'm very familiar with them because I learned them. When I learned them, I already finished remembering, or I am not required to pay that much time on preparing for only an examination, I spent more time on doing something else, which will also help me study, but not only for the exams. But things are quite different here because exams are really challenging, or are even more challenging to me, so I really need to pay much more time preparing for it in case I will fail it.
I can understand the worry about because it's a different system.
Yeah.
We do not know how the professor will grade you.
No, I don't know that.
That can be really stressful. You are guessing, you are imagining.
Whether I'm doing it in a Chinese way or in an American way. So if I'm doing exams or if I'm answering questions in all Chinese ways, I will definitely not get good grades for that because educational systems are really different. So I need time to be prepared for both of the knowledge itself and for the study style or like reading style. Here it's kind of
So you use your almost 30 hours per week to prepare for a single exam, and you still worried about it. You're nervous,
kind of,
and you do not think you are well prepared.
There are always some materials or knowledges waiting for you to get them. So I can't say that I'm well prepared or not because I'm trying to be that, but I'm doing as much as I could do to prepare for it. But that doesn't mean I am really ready for it. Or
you have a high standard for yourself.
Oh well, that's because we are required at that level. It's not that I am expecting to be that level. It's just I don't know why, but it's kind of like all the department requires you to do something really high or get to that level very quickly. They don't give you the process to be well prepared.
So as I see examinations, so one part of the examination is us, the students, we prepare for the examination. But there are also another part of the examination is the professors. So what do you think are the expectations of the professors to the examinations? Or what are the expectations of the professors to you?
By saying expectations, I think it doesn't only mean that what scores the professors are expecting. I think it means more like how much effort you pay to it and how well your understanding ability is. So the exam itself doesn't mean anything to me. It's just whether I am capable in solving problems, or whether I have this study ability. And that is what I think the professors are expecting from us. They want to see that you have this ability, you are capable in solving this problem in this course. They don't want just you like remember all the answers and no understanding or no truly understanding on that. So I'm not sure. I mean, I can't say for sure that I know what I am expected by professors, but one thing that I think for sure is that professors want to see our attitude in study.
Attitude.
So, yeah. They want to see that you are, you want to study, you want to do this. You are not just asked to take this course. This is your interest. You have interest in it. So you want to learn more or get better grades by paying effort to it. I mean, that happens to everything, right? It doesn't mean that getting score is your life goal or something like that.
Oh,
it's just when you solve any problems in life, it's your attitude plays the most important role in it. So, I think attitude and the ability to it's like personal abilities are the most expectations by most professors.
So you think the professors want to see your desire, your interest in the class?
Yeah, they really want to be interested in it because you're studying for it, right? If you're totally not interested in it, you will lose motivations in study.
So how can you see that expectations in an exam?
Oh yeah, for one exam, it's kind of difficult to say that, but for like a long run, it's my understanding that this is what exams are made to test. So they are so professors want to see whether we deserve these credits, right? We don't study for fun. We study for something. Well, I mean, everybody studies for something. So, it can sometimes it's really hard to be showed in one exam, but for a long run, in long term, I think for about like 1 year or two, that's the most important thing for us to show to the professors. Yeah.
And if you are really interested in the course, the professors can see your growth.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe this week you are still not familiar with the American way to understand a case study, to show your steps to solve this problem in an academic way in America. But by weekly, you will have this improve your personal growth.
Yeah, I'm making improvement on that.
And I think that's what other professors also are what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So in this way, your stress for your stress can be reduced. You can think about you are making progress every week, and that fits the expectation of the professors. They are not looking for a perfect answer. They know they can do it by themselves.
Yeah.
So as a student,
as a student, the most important thing that the professor most want to see is we are making progress, right? We are doing something for it. Yeah, we're still trying to do that. We didn't give up, and that's the most important thing for both of us.
I think your preparation for exam is almost the best you can do. You told me about you think about the materials, you write them down when you have to remember the terms, and you average you took 5 hours a day for a single course.
Yeah, almost like that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I think your effort will pay back.
Hopefully.
Yeah, just confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just keep the faith, keep the attitude.
Yeah,
that's also what the professor wants.
Yeah, that's essential.
So we hope you can have a good exam.
Yeah.
On Friday.
Yeah, I think so. I really hope so.
Okay. And next week we can see how you adapt, how you are prepared. Are you still nervous or are you still worried about the exam next week? Let's see what we get this week.
Okay.
Yeah. So thanks again for agreeing to recording this video.
No problem.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Could you please help me to push this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this?
Yeah.